Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 19 shows Ryu fighting the other team of shinobi and then Matsuri about to battle Konohamaru. And it's got me wondering, who is technically like the weakest Shinju, right? Even though we already saw Hidari kind of like get taken out in half by Boruto's Rasengan Uzuhiko, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's weak. He's still Sasuke's Shinju, right? With a lot more capabilities and abilities than the other Shinju. If I really have to go on like based on who their counterpart is or who like they turned into a tree, then the weakest one is Bug, right? Like Bug is probably the weakest one, but he has some sort of ability where he's able to possibly counter Damon's reflectability and also see Ada's Senrigan, like be able to block that. So he has some sort of like, I guess that his ability kind of like is his knowledge of like how to stop or fight Ada and how to fight Damon. That could be the possibility or like the reason he's as overpowered or as strong as he is, though we haven't actually seen him in combat. And I guess the strongest one would be Jura, since he's the Ten Tails reincarnate into the Shinju. So it's got me kind of curious, like what are the other rankings, like who would be second, who would be third, and seeing Ryu fight, it's kind of like, oh snap, he can disintegrate his whole body into iron sand. And without that lodestone sand sealing blade, they really wouldn't have any counter for it. But it's not impossible to fight him. Just because he can separate into sand doesn't mean he's forever invulnerable, right? Like, you can catch him off guard or maybe right before he changes or when he changes back, right? Like, you have to be aware of it. So, I'm kind of thinking that obviously Jura's at the top. And then second place, I wanted to give it to Ryu, but at the same time, I feel like that Iron Sand ability, I don't know. I guess the Iron Sand ability gives him a lot more, what's it called? It gives him a lot more to work with defensively, right? He can turn into the Iron Sand and avoid getting hit, and he can manipulate other people's bodies and whatnot. So I guess that makes his ability a little bit more, a bit stronger, you know what I mean? So I'd have to see more of what they can do. I think in that aspect, he's second place. So it'd go Jura and then Ryu. Third place, I would maybe say, I want to say Hidari, but we haven't actually seen Matsuri fight. I mean, we have seen her use, I think she used the Earth style to like trap Boruto, but that was about it. And that's just like about a regular jutsu, isn't it? It's kind of tough to really pin down or like say exactly who's what, where, but as of right now, I want to say third place is Hidari. So it goes Jura, Ryu, then Hidari. Fourth place, I'll give it to Matsuri, and fifth, I give it to Bug. Just because I haven't seen, I mean, Bug kind of like pushed against Boruto, but it wasn't like I don't know, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, he's strong. So all of the other Shinju are strong too. I want to see a bit more. And plus, I think Matsuri is stronger than Bug because Moegi is a shinobi from the Hidden Leaf Village. She knows more jutsu, and they're probably going to be amplified a lot more with her Renegon and her strength as a Shinju. So everything kind of gets enhanced 10 times, I guess. And honestly, I'm excited to see what she does in this next chapter against Konohamaru. I wonder if her, like, Moegi's relationship, like, or, like, kind of memories travel into her brain. You know what I mean? So she's able to understand, like, all of Konohamaru's abilities and jutsus that he uses. So she's able to, like, maybe just kind of, like, get taken over or, like, I don't know. She'll be able to, like, counter it a lot easier. And Konohamaru will have to learn something new to fight. You know? So it's going to be really interesting to see in the next chapter how she fights Konohamaru, how Konohamaru fights her, and if, like, there's anything that we can learn about it from there. But as of right now, the rankings go Jura, Ryu, Hidari, Matsuri, and Mamushi? Is that's Bug's Shinju's name, right? Mamushi. So anyways, I was pretty curious about, like, what if, like, they, like, turn against each other or they have to, like, fight one another? You know, that's kind of what I was thinking about when I was trying to put this together or like coming up with this idea is like, well, who's the strongest? And obviously I thought, well, like, Jura has to be the strongest. He could defeat all of them if he wanted to, but he kind of like, they're halves of him or like parts of who he is. And so like he likes I don't know, the camaraderie or like the friendship that they have, so to speak. But anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments who you think is the strongest, who do you think could become stronger, or like where do you see like each of them getting like increasing strength, because they just woke up. They can still get stronger, so we'll have to see how that goes. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Yeah,